Previously on Ace Attorney.
Very well, Mr. Justice. I never thought I'd be saying this, but you may burn the evidence.
All right, here we go.
Look!
Apollo, the inside of the orb is melting.
There's something in there.
It's her face. Hello, YouTube. I'm Unca Crunk. Welcome back to Ace Attorney. And we almost had it. We almost had it. Then Phoenix just pulled it out of his ass, and now the trial continues. Also, I think somebody kidnapped Maya, and that's why he's doing all this.
All right, court is, once again, back in session. Now, Mr. Wright, about that last objection you raised.
We, the plaintiffs, still believe that the defense has yet to sufficiently prove its case. They claim that, according to legend, the Founder's Orb would bestow spiritual power. Yet the relic in question has failed to do so. Therefore, it has failed its own test.
I see.
Sticking with that ridiculous argument?
Furthermore,
Even if it is the Founder's Orb, it can't be awarded to the Defiant Dragons. After all, they were the ones who killed Dr. Buff.
Objection!
What are you talking about? That was already proven to be false. There are no grounds for asserting that the Defiant Dragons murdered the Doctor.
oh, but I'm afraid there are, Mr. Justice.
Your Honor, I would like to present new testimony to this court. Oh my God, he's about to... Wait, what? Okay, for a second there, I thought he was going to out, crap, what's his name? Apollo's foster father, what's his name? Anyway, I thought he was about to out him as the leader of the rebels, but apparently not. Testimony that will show that that's a rebel did, in fact, kill Dr. Buff. What?
Very well, you may call your witness.
Yes, Mr. Wright found another new angle. What new testimony could there be this late in the game? Probably more from politician. Ugh. By the way, I think that's the murder weapon. Fellow citizens, it is I, politician, the once and future representative of the people. Not him again. My client divulged new information to me during the recess. He remembered something he saw, you see. Something crucial to this case. How very convenient. Nah. Witness testimony. That's a crime. It was around 11 at night and I was out on a mobile meet and greet around the village. That's when I saw Dr. Buff being murdered from outside his study window. Mr. Rebel snuck up from behind and struck him on the head. His weapon of choice, a suitcase. Bullshit. A big strong man like him could easily swing a heavy suitcase into someone's head. Not that suitcase. You saw the murder as it happened. Suddenly, out of the blue, you're remembering this. And you're just telling us now because... I saved the best for last. It's a tactic known to all the political greats. Murder weapon was a complete mystery. But my client's eyewitness account has finally brought it into the light.
According to the autopsy report, Dr. Buff was struck in the head by the corner of some object. I suppose that could very well be the corner of a suitcase.
Luminol it!
Objection!
Eyewitness testimony isn't the same as hard evidence.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that if I were you.
What's that supposed to mean?
We have physical evidence too. A luminol test revealed.
Oh, damn it.
The doctor's blood on Mr. Rebel's suitcase.
Damn and blast. Really? But how does that prove Mr. Rebel used it as a weapon?
Objection!
You should know the answer to that, Mr. Justice. Since you know as well as I that the suitcase is covered in his fingerprints.
Ah! Thank God we dusted it right in front of Emma. The turnabout terror strikes again.
This is quite convincing testimony and evidence. Nevertheless, you may proceed with your cross-examination, Mr. Justice.
I want to luminol test that placard. Although it's looking less and less like it actually was that. It was around 11 at night and I was out on a mobile meet and greet around the village.
Hold it!
At 11? You were on a so-called mobile meet and greet at 11 at night? That's right. It's the perfect time because everyone is at home and asleep. You should have seen how the villagers' eyes teared up when they heard what I had to say. Tears of frustration, no doubt. You weren't riding around in your palanquin. That's right. Some village idiot reported me to the police. I've been banned from using it after dark. No wonder what with all the noise he makes. So what exactly did you see then? That's when I saw Dr. Buff being murdered from outside his study window.
Hold it!
Sounds like you witnessed something rather shocking.
Indeed. I didn't even believe it at first. I mean, a vicious murder in Crane.
Haven't been many murders there, I take it?
If I'm elected, I promise you that such a terrible tragedy will never happen again. A vote for me is a vote to banish murder forever from our beloved Crane village.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Mr. Attention Whipperson, please tell the court what you saw at the scene of the crime.
Mr. Rebel snuck up from behind and struck him on the head. Oh, crap.
Hold it!
He snuck up from behind. So you're saying the doctor never even realized Mr. Rebel was there? That's right. He was utterly absorbed in a book. I see. What did you see Mr. Rebel do next? He climbed up the bookshelf ladder and dumped a bunch of books down on the body. I believe he was trying to make it look like an accident. But that idiot didn't realize I could see everything from outside the window. One of those statements doesn't feel right. Your Honor, I believe the witness made an important statement just now about how, the doctor was reading a book. Especially if he was at the bookshelf. The doctor was reading a book at the time of the murder. That's vital testimony.
Very well, the witness will please add that statement to his testimony.
The doctor was standing in front of the bookshelves, absorbed in a book. Yeah, okay. Oh, wait, back.
Hold it!
You watched a murderer commit his crime and did nothing to stop it. It doesn't sound like a good way to score points with the voting public. I'm a politician, not a superhero. I'm under no obligation to risk life and limb. He sure is quick to deny his obligations when there's nothing in it for him. Getting tired of listening to his endless campaigning and flimsy rationalizations. About your testimony, Mr. Attition Wimperson. You said Mr. Rebel struck the doctor from behind while he was absorbed in a book.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. Here's weapon of choice. A suitcase.
Hold it!
Are you sure?
Positive, I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
Yet, despite your certainty, you kept quiet about it until now.
No, I was waiting. I knew there would be a perfect chance to talk about it later. Information must always be disclosed in a strategic manner. That is one of the lessons of Kingcraft as taught by the Attition clan.
Is there a lesson by chance in the Attition Kingcraft guidebook on being honest?
Anyway, I saw Mr. Rebel commit that heinous crime. A big, strong, lion man like him could easily swing a heavy suitcase into someone's head.
Hold it!
I would have to agree that suitcase is really heavy. Wait a second. How did you know it was so heavy? For all you knew, it could have been empty.
Objection!
My client witnessed the crime in progress. So naturally, he saw Mr. Rebel straining to lift what was obviously a heavy suitcase. Can't say I'm a fan of you trying to discredit my client by tripping him up, Mr. Justice.
But I'm just doing what you always do, Mr. Wright. I learned it by watching you.
Dr. Buff was absorbed from behind. No. Dr. Buff was struck from behind while he was absorbed in a book. He must have been really into it. Doesn't add up. His glasses were on his desk. What doesn't? That politician is lying. I'm sure of it. All right. There we go. Last. Well, now I know why these are here.
Objection!
The doctor was standing in front of the bookshelves, absorbed in a book, you say? I'm sorry, but it seems your testimony is completely unreliable, just like everything else about you.
That's quite a bold statement. Well, let's hear you back it up. I challenge you to prove that I am anything but 100% reliable.
Challenge accepted. Lately, it seems the doctor's eyes has gotten so bad he needed reading glasses. However, his reading glasses were over on his desk. So you see, there's no way he could have been reading in front of the bookshelves.
Ah!
I'm sorry, Mr. Attition Wimperson, but I'm going to have to ask you to explain this discrepancy to the voting public. You what?
I'll explain it, you lowly cur. I simply made a mistake, you see. That doctor was actually sitting at his desk when Mr. Rebel hit him over the head.
From behind? But then the doctor would have been facing him. Surely he would have seen him and tried to run.
Dr. Buff was not off. I could tell because his eyes were closed and he wasn't moving.
Sounds a little more like what you would do. Then how do you explain the fact that he was struck in the back of the head? Isn't that something that should be impossible from the front of the desk?
Oh, about that. He bowed his head when he nodded off. That's when he was clobbered.
So that's what you saw. Well, Mr. Justice, that sounds like a perfectly reasonable explanation to me. Hint, hint. You have a problem with the proposal that the doctor was struck while nodding off? Yes. There is a problem. A very big problem. The witness's statement doesn't hold up under the slightest bit of scrutiny. Is that so? Then will you please show this court what evidence you have to justify this? This shows the problem with the witness's claim that he saw the doctor nodding off. Oh. Yes. Hang on. Oh my God. Oh, no, okay. It does show it. All right.
Take that!
A diagram of the study?
Mr. Titian Wimperson allegedly viewed the murder from here. And the doctor was allegedly nodding off here. But from his vantage point, the bookcase would have blocked the witness's line of sight.
Oh, yes, I believe you're right.
Objection!
The fact remains my client knew that the suitcase was the murder weapon. So he definitely had first-hand knowledge of the crime scene. I'm afraid I have to agree with you there, Mr. Wright. But then we have to ask ourselves, from what vantage point did he see the murder? What are you insinuating, Mr. Justice? From what vantage point could Mr. Titian Wimperson have seen the dosing doctor? Once we determine that, I believe we'll finally see the truth behind this incident. The witness saw the murder from right here. And well, somewhere in here.
Take that!
You've got to be kidding.
But that's...
It is indeed, but everything only makes sense if the witness was there in the study. Inside the study, but that's the scene of the crime. I'm glad you're keeping up, Athena. Mr. Titian Wimperson, the man who claims to be a witness to the murder, was most certainly in that very room. Apollo, are you suggesting... Mr. Titian Wimperson, weren't you the one who actually swung that suitcase?
Objection!
What you're proposing is ludicrous. My client is a small, thin man, whereas Mr. Rebel has the musculature to pull it off. He has a point. Gave up trying to lift that thing after one go. That's right. He's the only one who could have lifted such a heavy object. Now do you understand? The Rebel Dasher Rebel is the doctor's killer. So long as the suitcase is the murder weapon, the suspicion falls entirely on Tabs. You'll have to poke a hole in Mr. Wright's argument somehow, Apollo. Hey, we're back to my theory about the weapon. Good. Oh, I will end with his own technique, no less. If Mr. Titian Wimperson couldn't swing the suitcase around, we'll just have to consider another way he could have used it as a murder weapon instead. Oh. I'm going to turn this case on its head, Mr. Wright, just like you told me. You talk big, Mr. Justice, but do you have what it takes?
Oh, this should be interesting.
Mr. Titian Wimperson's testimony has been filled with one inaccuracy after another. First, he stated that Dr. Buff was in front of the bookshelves. Now he claims that the doctor was sitting at his desk. So where was the victim really when he was killed? Also, where was his killer? And how was the murder weapon really used?
So the important thing here is the position of the victim and killer relative to each other.
Yes, Your Honor. If they were positioned in a certain way, it would be possible to use the suitcase as a weapon without lifting a finger. He dropped him off the balcony? You can't mean. I would ask the court to recall the study's layout. It's quite distinctive, as you can see. Now, if Dr. Buff were sitting in a certain spot, and his killer was at a certain other spot, the suitcase would become a weapon anyone could use. Oh, he pushed the suitcase.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Where was Dr. Buff's killer at the time of the crime?
Right about here.
Take that!
There?
Oh. That should wrap things up nice and pretty for you, Mr. Wright. I would ask the court to recall the study's layout. But this time, instead of thinking in 2 dimensions, let's think in 3. Only then can we clearly see the killer's method at work. The killer didn't have to swing the suitcase. If he used gravity to his advantage, that is. That's right, it was the plaintiff, one Paul Attition Wimperson, who used the suitcase. He pushed it from the 2nd floor and sent it hurtling down onto Dr. Buff, who was sitting at the coffee bar. Yay! The psychology book had been at the coffee bar, no doubt. The doctor must have set it down there after he'd finished reading it or the like. But his blood got on it, which is why the killer thought to hide it in that mountain of books.
Objection!
That's quite an entertaining theory you have there, Mr. Justice. There's no evidence that the murder took place at the coffee bar. How about coffee on the buck? I'm not so sure about that, Mr. Wright. I'd say that evidence of the murder occurring at the coffee bar exists, very much so. The evidence does exist, and I'm going to show you.
That you are?
This right here is proof that the murder took place at the coffee bar.
Take that!
This brown stain was determined to be coffee. What's more, it was still a bit damp when we saw it yesterday morning. One look at this speaks volumes. One look at this book speaks volumes, I'm afraid, Mr. Wright. It tells us the doctor was having a cup of coffee at the coffee bar. That's when the suitcase came hurtling down, striking him on the head, causing both his blood and his coffee to splatter onto it. Well, Mr. Attition Wimperson? What motive could I possibly have had to kill Dr. Buff? And there it is. That final excuse cornered killers are so fond of. Well, the doctor never returned your crystal to you, did he? Instead, he hid it in the cave ruins. Telling him that the Defiant Dragons were a dangerous bunch was a huge blunder. All it did was make him hide the orb. Your lie came back to bite you in the end. Even worse, the doctor saw the news reports, so he knew the relic was the Founder's orb. Being the conscientious researcher he was, he knew he had to return it to its rightful place. And that meant keeping it out of your hands. You were so angry that he refused to return the relic to you that you killed him with your own hands. Isn't that right, Mr. Attition Wimperson? I really thought that was going to be the murder weapon. That is... Apollo! Please don't accuse my client of murder. Oh boy, here we go. What do you mean, don't accuse him? Why would you even say that, Mr. Wright? What I meant was, he's a promising politician with a bright future ahead of him. It's in our nation's best interest to avoid burning him with the taint of scandal.
Say what?
Right, you'd better do something to change the current and color courtroom climate, or I'll be charged with murder. And you know what will happen to her if that happens. Ah.
What's he talking about? Well, I can ponder that later. For now, Mr. Wright, you can't possibly believe that Mr. Rebel is the killer. Are you really going to send an innocent man to prison? Though you're better than that.
Will Mr. Wright answer me?
Mr. Wright? What in the world's going on here? If you won't say anything, then...
Mr. Titian Wimperson, the defense...
Hold it!
Apollo, wait! Not you too, Athena. It's just, I wasn't sure whether I should say anything, but during that last recess when I went to check on Mr. Wright, I overheard something I shouldn't have.
I trust Maya is unharmed. I can't really say, but just remember, if I'm arrested or fail to obtain the treasure, there will be consequences. Consequences of the worst kind, if you catch my drift. Ah. Relax. All you have to do is ensure that I get my hands on that relic. I must deliver it to my benefactor at all costs.
What do they want that relic for anyway?
It's something to do with an old legend. My patron seeks the great power said to be granted to whoever solves its secret.
Maya? As in Maya Fey? Yes, the boss's legendary former assistant. Is Faye's being held hostage? So it seems.
Why didn't you tell me as soon as you heard this?
Sorry. It's just Mr. Wright spotted me before I could slip away. He made me promise not to tell you. He said it would make things more difficult if you found out.
As if things weren't already hard enough.
So that's why Mr. Wright was acting so strange. I had no idea. This must have been excruciating for him.
Think, Justice. There's got to be something you can do.
That's why Edgeworth is in the village. He's leading the task force to find Maya. So, what, we need to stall?
Mr. Justice, about that last statement of yours. I believe you were in the middle of accusing the plaintiff of murdering Dr. Buff. Would you care to continue?
I'm sorry, Apollo. I'm really, really sorry.
What's gotten into you two?
I accuse that slime bag. I put Miss Faye's life in jeopardy.
It seems you finally caught on. I'm far too important to be accused of murder. After all, our nation's future rests squarely on my shoulders.
Either I give up or...
Once I present the crystal to my patron, my victory is assured. Then one day I'll become president, and then king. I'll have every politician at my command. Now retract your accusation.
Can't kowtow to him, but
the defense would like to retract the previous accusation.
Please be Edgeworth. Oh. Apollo. The Dirk? don't know what's going on here, but a lawyer should never look the way you do right now, with defeat and resignation written all over your face.
A dragon never yields.
Even when wounded, a dragon bites down hard and never lets go till its dying breath. It glares, it roars, and it latches its jaws firmly onto its prey till the bitter end. That's what lawyers do to get the truth.
Dirk, dragon never yields.
He's right. It's all over if I give up now. If Mr. Wright's hands are tied, it's up to me to do what must be done. He's saved my neck so many times. Now it's my turn to save his. Dirk, thanks for that wake-up call. Now that's the face of a lawyer you've got there, son. Where there's a will, there's a way. And I'm going to find the way to save Miss Fay and see that justice is served. Okay. I have no idea what's about to happen. Okay, that scumbag is holding Miss Fay hostage, insured to get the orb for his patron. And it seems said patron believes in the orb's legend. The thing is, the founder did appear when the orb was exposed to fire, just as the legend said. If the legend is true, then we've already solved the riddle, right? No, not yet. I just said not yet. We still don't know her name. The legend says the founder will bestow great spiritual power when she returns. But if that's true, it means we haven't solved the whole riddle yet. We have to summon her, or channel her. How can that be? Are we missing something? Wait, maybe the part about the founder returning should be taken literally. But how would it be possible for a dead person to return to the world of the living, channeling? Oh, I know, there is a way for the dead to return. Spirit channeling! Of course, you have to know what the founder looks like first. But the orb has revealed her face to us, so what if it's a sign that we should channel her? Given the facts, in order to solve the riddle and receive the founder's power, I'd need a spirit medium. And the name of the mother, Holy Mother, which, by the way, I think is Amy Faye. I'll get to that in a minute. The ability of a medium to channel spirits is the final key to unlocking the orb's secret. That means Mr. Artician Wimperson's patron will need one too. And once that slimy politician realizes that, he won't be able to lay a finger on Ms. Faye. Everything's going to be okay, Mr. Wright. Because Mr. Politician Wimperson can't afford to harm a hair on Ms. Faye's head. Huh? Mr. Artician Wimperson, it seems you've chosen the wrong person to take hostage. What do you mean? Your patron seeks to solve the orb's riddle, and thereby receive great spiritual power. However, only Maya Fey can truly give them what they really want. She can? What do you mean, only Maya Fey? Think about what the return of the founder really means. We should have considered it more literally. After all, the orb was made in the kingdom of Korean, the birthplace of spirit mediums. I think I see now. You need to know what the deceased looks like in order to channel them. But in Koreanism, depicting the face of the founder is taboo. However, her true face was hidden in the orb. So maybe the orb is telling us to try channeling the founder. Exactly. Through a spirit medium, the founder can quite literally return. And if the legend is true, the founder just might bestow spiritual power on someone when she does. It's like when Pearls imbued my Magatamo's spiritual power. If a human could be imbued with such power in a similar manner, it is said the founder possesses immense spiritual power. Such a great feat would not necessarily be beyond her. Wait a second. Then the legend is true? You understand now, Mr. Attition Wimperson? You are holding hostage the final key to unlocking the orb's secret. If anything were to happen to her, the riddle will remain unsolved forever. Arrgh! There's always Pearl Faye. I could simply ask her to help. If she wants money, I have plenty to offer. She's not the kind of person to be tempted by material gain. And she certainly wouldn't help you if anything were to happen to her cousin. Or maybe you'd like to go ask the Queen of Korean to channel the founder for you. He could, but he'd probably get executed for even requesting such a thing. It's over. Now confess, you killed Dr. Puff, didn't you? It wasn't supposed to end this way. Mr. Attition Wimperson, are you admitting to committing the crime? You're my lawyer, right? Do something. It's true that I'm your lawyer, and as such, it's my job to defend you. However, defending my client isn't the only duty a lawyer has. There's something else that's equally as important. And that is finding the truth. What? Mr. Attition Wimperson, you have sought to twist the truth in the dirtiest of ways. I was complicit in your hostage-taking, but in a way I was being held hostage too. Even so, there's still hope for me to make things right. And I owe it all to you, Apollo. And Mr. Wright. I can't allow a murderer to walk away scot-free. Therefore, Mr. Attition Wimperson, I must resign as your attorney. No! Does this mean I'm under arrest? No! That's a lot of ellipses. Well, I have nothing to confess. What? I said I have nothing to confess. I don't and I won't. Especially not to a plebeian like you. This guy doesn't know when to give up. Besides, there's no truth to all these allegations. I mean, look at the suitcase. You won't find a single print of mine on it. All that means is you wipe them off, taking care only to leave Mr. Rebels. Which is why there were no fingerprints on the handle. Or anywhere else that made any damn sense. Which is why it took me 25 minutes to find him. His prints. As many a great politician has said before me, no comment. In that case, try switching things up, Apollo. Look at the situation from a different angle. Is there really nothing that points to the suitcase being dropped from up above? Evidence that points to the suitcase being dropped from the second floor. If the killer pushed a suitcase from the second floor hallway over the coffee bar, that would place him right around here. Maybe, just maybe. Notice something, Apollo? Yes, I did. I believe this piece of evidence to be connected to the dropping of the suitcase. Army statement.
Take that!
It appears to be a statement. But how is that related to this case? On the night of the murder, Your Honor, Miss Army Buff physically left her room. That's when she saw the doctor burning the orb and subsequently passed out, right above the coffee bar. But with her there in her wheelchair, the killer wouldn't have been able to drop the suitcase down onto the doctor. Good point. However, according to Sarge, she woke up just as someone was trying to move her in her wheelchair. Ah. So he wasn't trying to kill her. Well, there's that at least.
Someone was pushing my wheelchair.
What?
I was so scared I beat a hasty retreat as fast as my wheels could take me.
She must have been in the killer's way and had to be moved. Isn't that right, Mr. Attention Whipperson? And if the killer had pushed the wheelchair with his bare hands, we may yet find the conclusive evidence we need. Exactly. Fortunately for us, that evidence slipped right through the killer's fingers. If only he'd been able to hold on to it just a little tighter. But now he is neither able to discard nor alter it. Honestly, that piece of evidence wasn't even supposed to be here in this courtroom today. And yet, it looks like sometimes things do get better.
But that wasn't supposed to happen.
No? Well, too bad. Because the evidence that sped away from you that night has come back to haunt you right here at this very trial. Your Honor, the defense's final piece of evidence is on this person.
Take that!
On the night of the murder, Sarge passed out, only to come to and find that someone was pushing her wheelchair. That's when she fled back into her room. She didn't physically see a single soul after that. Not until Athena drew her out through that therapy session, that is. While the killer was able to wipe the prints on the suitcase off, the same can't be said for the prints that got away.
My fellow Corinthians.
Well, Mr. Politician Whipperson, try to explain your way out of this one. The podium is all yours.
Politician, savior of Korean. I am not a crook. My political career can't end like this. I am destined for great things. Something's wrong. This isn't real. It's a dream, not a nightmare. Ooh. What? What? Really? Oh! Whoa, no way! Banzai! Banzai! Banzai!
Breaking news, politician arrested on murder charges and stripped of his electoral win.
No, please! Wait! Don't go! No, please! Grandma!
Well then.
Mr. Tisham Whipperson, are you all right? Bailiff, get him to the first aid station on the double.
Yay.
Well, this was yet another unexpected turn of events. In light of everything that's being revealed, it seems the relic is indeed the Founder's Orb. And it seems Mr. Politician Whipperson can be considered a suspect in Dr. Buff's murder.
Apollo, I want to thank you for everything. Thanks to you, I didn't have to keep bending the truth. I don't know what I would have done without you. Oh, don't mention it. You were amazing today, Apollo. Well, thank you. Couldn't have done it without Turk.
A dragon never yields.
Dragon never yields. Even when wounded, a dragon bites down hard and never lets go till its dying breath. It glares, it roars, and it latches its jaws firmly up onto its prey till the bitter end. That's what lawyers do to get the truth. Dragon never yields. Every lawyer should take that to heart. As it seems both sides have no further objections, would Dirk Sadmati please take the stand? This court awards the orb to the Defiant Dragons per the stated transfer agreement.
Yay!
Should the Kingdom of Korean claim ownership, the matter may have to be deliberated in court all over again. I just hope, or shall I say pray, that I'm not the judge presiding over that one. Indeed, a trial like that might spark an international incident. Still, there are bigger and more momentous things astir in the air. Revolution. Dirk's really serious about this. This court is adjourned. It would now be a good time to discuss my theory. Yeah, okay. So, I think that the Holy Mother of Korean did what so many other mothers before her have done in this franchise. I think she had a child or two, then abandoned her family, moved to Japanifornia, and created the village of Korean. And maybe changed her name to Amy Faye. Maybe that was always her real name. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, seriously. Misty Faye, Morgan Faye, Lamoire, all of them abandoned children and had other children elsewhere. I think the creator of this game franchise might have some mommy issues. Anyway, yeah, that's my theory. Nice work, son. We've finally broken through the last obstacle on the road to revolution. Revolution? Just doesn't seem real. Yes, well, to think you actually defeated the Fighting Phoenix. All I can say is, that's my boy. Well, Mr. Wright did have his hands tied. Who knows if I'd have won if he had been able to fight me head on. I see it more like you saved Mr. Wright. Saved him? Yeah, remember what he said? He didn't have to bend the truth anymore, and it was all thanks to you. I don't know about that. Still, I guess it is kind of nice to be appreciated. Mr. Dirk? Now that the Holy Mother's face has been revealed, are you going to have a spirit medium try channeling her? I, for one, would love to see the return of the legendary founder. Yeah, just think about it. Being able to speak to someone right out of the history books. Unfortunately, it's not that easy. What? Why? A face isn't enough. You also need the true name of the one you're attempting to channel. Oh, right. Pearl mentioned something like that. And the founder's true name is only known to the priestess who has been crowned queen. In short, the only living person who knows it is the current queen of Korean. Oh my God! All these apostrophes. In short, the only living person who knows it is the current queen of Korean, Garan. Now, so without her help, we won't be seeing the founder anytime soon. Amy Faye, I'm telling you. Oh, that's no fun. So, Dirk, what will you do now? First, I'll start by tracing the route by which the orb came into Dr. Buff's hands. And since we now know it was a politician that asked the doctor to study it, isn't he the one who stole it? No, a political nobody like him couldn't get anywhere near the orb, let alone steal it. He must have had inside help. My money is on someone connected to the royal family. Oh, right. You said something to that effect back in the cave.
Whoever it may be, we need to expose their dirty scheme to the light of day. Well, I'm sure Mr. Wright has plenty of information courtesy of his dirty client. He might be able to shed some light on this.
Private!
Oh, wait.
Private justice!
Oh. Yes, that was fine work you did at the trial today. You did your sergeant proud.
Back at you, Sarge. It took real courage to leave your room like that. It's all thanks to you and Corpsewoman Sykes. With my siege defense over, I can finally sally forth.
But the battle's only just begun. One for me and me alone to fight.
To lose your mother and then your father. What a terrible thing to endure.
Yeah, and being wheelchair bound doesn't help.
Private Justice. I've been thinking. It's about time I stood on my own 2 feet. After all, I no longer have Papa to coddle me.
Huh? I'm afraid I don't follow.
Take a good look, soldier. This is one small step for man, and one giant leap for me. Hold my drone for me, would you, Private Justice?
Yes, sir.
What's she up to? Whoa! Yeah,
She's standing! What's this? Sarge, you mean your legs there?
The doctor told me I was ready to walk again months ago. But if I admitted I could walk, I knew I'd have to leave the house. So I faked it.
Makes sense, but
I kept pretending I couldn't walk. Well, I know Papa's watching over me now, and I'd hate to disappoint him. So from this day forth, I'm going to march forward with my own 2 feet.
I'm a brave kid, trying to move forward like this. It must be so hard this soon after her father's death. Don't you ever stop. You just keep on walking, comrade. Stay brave, because there will be days when you'll want to stop. But I have faith you'll find a way to muster the strength to push through them.
Yeah, you can do it. Hey, Daddy's back.
How you doing?
That's right.
What's that look on his face for? I don't like it. Oh, Apollo.
Is everything all right with Ms. Faye?
She's safe for now.
For now? Well, then we better go save her quick. Where is she anyway?
Korean. I'm afraid I have some bad news.
Huh?
Maya's not here in the States. She's still in Korean.
I knew it!
And she's still being held hostage by the mastermind behind this whole thing. The mastermind? That's right. Politician Wimperson was nothing more than a pawn. Maya's true abductor is in the kingdom of Korean.
Let me guess. Unca Crunk.
Or whatever his last name is.
I don't understand, Mr. Wright. What in the world's going on over there?
Oh. But as shocking as that news was, it was only the beginning. The beginning of something big. Big enough to shake Korean to its very core. Revolution. I was being swept up in a mighty wave that nothing could stop. Of course, at the time, I had no idea what the days ahead had in store for us.
To be continued in the next episode. To the outro! Well then, so we still need to rescue Maya without causing an international incident somehow. The fact that Unca hasn't gotten the Founder's Orb back yet, but Maya is still alive, makes me think that the Queen is completely unaware of all of this. If they wanted to use the orb to channel the Holy Mother, they could have just done that before it was stolen. think Inga needs Maya to channel the Holy Mother so he can overthrow his wife. Can't just kill her because the title would pass to Princess Rafa and he would be, at best, regent. If he could get this immense spiritual power granted to him, though, he could just declare himself king. Or so he thinks. No way in hell would the Holy Mother cooperate with any of that. Of course, I could be completely off base with all of this. Wouldn't be the first time. Anywho, up here's a playlist of my Persona 5 Royal playthrough, and down here's the video that YouTube recommends. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!